Universal Connection Radio. Tune into the frequency.
There we go. We are recording. Welcome to UCR's Star Shaman show with our very own Mary Ducina. We are coming into summer. Welcome, summer. And today, Mary is going to discuss these celestial updates and give us guidance, as per usual. Hello, Mary. How are you, my love?
Welcome, Mystical Mermaid. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you.
And blessings to our Universal Connection Channel tribe. I honor each and every one of you, including our hostess with the mostest that works so hard for our benefit of raising our frequencies. So I do believe, Roxanne, that whenever we're beginning something, sitting down for a meal, going on a vacation, working in our garden, spending time with our animals, supporting and maybe sometimes just listening to a dear friend or one in need.
Yes.
And doing our tithing and our loving kindness, feeding that stray animal, making a donation of food, more than money. For a child or an animal. I believe that in light of, because of the timing of this broadcast, in light of the events that have happened in Orlando,
yes,
I've been doing as an instructor a lot, and I put some posts on the Facebook Universal Connection UCR page about Florida and Orlando, because people are now posting in social media about what's up with Orlando, with the beautiful singer being shot from the TV show The Voice. She's a double Pisces, by the way. Florida was incorporated and accepted into the Union as a Pisces state, March 3rd, 1845. So we astrologers, we mystics, do copious study when something seems to be an anomaly and hitting an area. And you and I, Roxanne,
yes,
as well as when I did my live lecture in the North Georgia mountains, Blairsville, Georgia, on the night of the eclipse of Pisces on March 8th. And it was a very crowded event. When I appear live, I'm talking about these bridges of an eclipse bridging toward another eclipse. And Roxanne, you and I covered it thoroughly in March, and your subscribers can go back and listen to this. The dual eclipses that happened on March 8th, the solar eclipse in double Pisces, and March 23rd, 24th, when that eclipse bloomed out at the very beginning of Libra, what happened at this time is that it started to release, because of the big solar eclipse, because it was a supermoon eclipse. It affected Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius primarily. Out of all 12 zodiac signs, all 12 celestial frequencies, it affects those four heroes, guardians of light, warriors that must step up and take right action. There is no Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, or Virgo that isn't in the category of rising up, advancing their frequencies, and even what apparently seems to be the smallest of actions or deeds. These four mutable signs are put on alert by fate, by the sister destiny, and by the karmic auspices, office of good deeds needed. I see these as the warriors and the heroes and the heroines of light, and not getting discouraged. And yes, they're in a spotlight of intensity, anomalous activities, but oh, the rewards that are coming. Oh, the blessings and the blessing way that's coming for those of you that stand strong in your birth charts to have a lot of Pisces or Virgo or Gemini or Sagittarius planets. For the rest of us, going into September, write these dates down, my beloved tribals. September 1st is going to be the next solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Virgo. Once again, Virgo and its balance sign, its polarity opposite sign of Pisces. Once again, the universe, the powers that be, the divine sources saying, hey, I need the Virgos and the Pisces. I need you to be my cosmic Santa Clauses. I need you to give without thought of return right now. This is your time that you're put on task to be a worker in the field of grace. I need you to plant seeds. I need you to weed and feed. I need you to uplift others, even though there's certainly a lot of orbiting intensity in your own worlds. I know the frequencies are amped up. I am preparing you. I am preparing you. I have chosen you.
Wow.
So the next day, yeah, it's true. The next date will be September 15th, 16th, 17th. Why 3 days? Because it's a waxing full moon. It's a full moon increasing, waxing, building in light. And if it's exact on the Eastern Daylight Time Zone on the 16th, depending on your location in the world, and this is the World Wide Web, these internet broadcasts, so the frequencies start to amplify with emotional body, astral body, dreamscapes, dream weaving, starting on September 15th, truly at maximum light on the 16th, different times, of course, and then on the 17th, here comes the cornucopia. So that's going to be the lunar eclipse in the 24th degree, 23rd, 24th degree of Pisces. So those Pisces that are born later on in March, for that September 3-day period of a cascade of light, a cascade of light. Now, for those 4 signs especially, and might I add, nobody's left out, because all of you listening, no matter what zodiac sign you landed on Earth in when you were born, in our star map, in our signature for our soul, this incarnation, I'm a Scorpio, Roxanne's a this, and this, we land with the sun in a certain sign. So I landed in Scorpio, and somebody else landed in Aries, and somebody else is at the tail end of Pisces or Leo. But that's where we landed. Then, due to our location and our time of when we took our first breath here, with the umbilical cord severed to the as above, and we took on our earth suit, okay, our spirit decided to earth suit itself, to put a cloak of an earthly garment on, because you are spirit in a temple walking this world for a while. Those configurations of the math of the longitude and the latitude and the time approximation of when you took your first breath. Does anybody have that really exact? Probably not. But if you can get it within an hour or two, it helps us astrologers cast that map. So each of us have a special soul signature star map. That's what I read. That's what I look at. It speaks about the opportunities and the signed on for soul lessons for this lifetime. So each of us, even though I spoke about those signs, Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, each of us have those 4 signs under a lighthouse, that's right, lighthouse, spotlight all this year. And then we're coming, Roxanne, and our beautiful tribe of Universal Connection radio listeners, beloved tribe, thank you. We're coming up this weekend, the 19th and the 20th, to what's called Litha, the turning of the wheel, or the longest day of light, known as the Summer Solstice. Solstice coming from the root meaning sun stands still.
Mary, would you repeat that again?
Yes, ma'am. Solstice is a root word. Solstice.
A time of Luitha?
Litha, Lithium.
Okay.
So Litha is the Gaelic reference to summer solstice. So we're going back into the isles of the true mystics, the Gaelic and the Scottish, the Irish, these people that, like our First Nations people in this country of America, the Native Americans, they are the Native First Nations people, the Aborigines in Australia and the Outback. These are the people in the rainforest that live off the land, that learn the language of herbs and flowers and live by sunrise, sunset, twilight, starlight. So to the people of the land, Litha, summer solstice, represents the longest day of light in the northern hemisphere. Now, of course, in Australia, it's the beginning of their winter solstice because it's a different orbit of the Earth's axis, as we're orbiting around. So for us, if you're listening in the northern hemisphere, I should qualify, this is our longest day of light. So ceremonial fires, incense, working with your essential oils, absolutely take the time to respect cleansing and clearing your chakras, your energy centers, prayers, meditation, sending light upon our world, gathering with people that have a sweet spot in your life, the people, the relationships, the animals, nature, honor our mother nature on summer solstice. It'll probably be daylight closer to 9, 10 o'clock, depending on where you live in the northern hemisphere. But this will be cascades, showers of blessings to do with divine light.
Beautiful.
And what this does, Roxanne, it opens up what they're called as the main 4 points of reckoning in our annual turning of the year: winter, summer solstice, spring and autumn equinox. Equinox meaning equal day night. Well, the solstice points, in my humble opinion, either the winter or the summer solstice, to me are the top of the cross. I mean, they're like, I am ascending. I am raising my vibration. So it opens up the door, the portal of light for the zodiac sign that feels the most and is the most emotionally tied in, and the strongest emotional antenna that we have in the zodiac is the water sign of Cancer the Crab, MoonChild. They are children of the moon. And in astrology, in the celestial timeline, the moon, Grandmother Moon, is our guardian guide to understand why and how we feel what we feel, and why are we getting that inner tugging, that emotional alarm, about, oh, yes, pursue this, or, oh, no, walk away. Right. Our emotions and our feeling barometers, it's probably my biggest concern about the technological and the artificial intelligence that the elitists and the most selfish powers that be want to rob us of. And this isn't a conspiracy theory, this is a fact. When you go out and you see kids in a car or out in a restaurant, or business people at a luncheon, they're supposed to get together and think tank or do things, and everybody's texting, everybody's on their cell phone, and they're not talking, and they're not communicating. It's like when I was riding in the car about a month ago, a couple of kids were in the back, and they were texting on their phones sitting next to each other, and I'm like, who are you texting? And they said, each other. And I said, you're in the car together. Why don't you just talk? No, because we don't want to know we don't want anybody else to hear or see what we're saying. I said, you're not talking, you're writing. You're doing a technological type of communication. You're not even looking into each other's eyes. You may giggle, you may laugh, but are those secrets that you're keeping with this texting that you don't want anybody else in the car to hear, is that not somewhat under question as far as what your motivation is, or your intention? I started then to teach them about intentions. And I said, okay, I'm the driver, I'm the chauffeur, shut the phones down, shut them down. If I'm taking you to your destination, you're shutting them down. Now, what you do when you get together again and all that, no. And I don't go to a family table and let people get on their phones. It's not happening. Because
I hear you.
I'm a wisdom teacher. I'm a wisdom teacher because I'm an eternal student. Do I have it all figured out? No. Do I think I know it all? No. Am I excited to continue to learn? You betcha. But
absolutely.
If I'm called on point by my divine guides and beloved holies and the armies of light to bestow a lesson in that nanosecond, I will step up. I will step up. And in that moment, I'll be that ascension antenna. I will comply to my intuitive voice that says, in this moment, my beloved, we need you to act in this moment. And that's what Cancer, MoonChild, children of the moon are. That's the point. Our learning now, we've just left Gemini. And from June 20th to July 21st, regardless of your sign, regardless of all the other planet positions in your birth chart, and yes, that's how I forecast and give you savvy opportunities, advance notice of the treats and the tricks coming forth in this hallowed walkabout. Cancer is the sign that says, what are you nurturing? What do you choose to bestow hugs upon, kindness upon? Are you nurturing yourself? Is there enough self-nurturing going on with you to you? So this is the time of year. In our culture, most of the kids are taking some kind of school vacation, so the more family vacations are nurturing. The students being able to sleep later, yay. I
Yay.
remember that as a teenager. Yay, you don't have to get up at 6. Okay, so I understand teenagers wanting to sleep. I understand them needing to restore themselves. And this is a cycle of emotional rescue, emotional nurturing, and emotional grooming. The scary part with all of our smartphones and smart tabs and computer games, most computer games, sorry techies, sorry gamers, but most of the computer games, the issue that I have with it is that it's mostly violent.
It is. I
It's
agree.
yeah, it's mostly violent. So I implore the younger set, to the techies and those that are learning about IT and creating computer games, let's have more avatar. Let's type things. So let's have more. Why can't we have computer games of beauty and healing and holistic, learning about the flowers and the herbs? You know, if I had the IT expertise, that's what I'd be doing. There's a gold mine. There's a gold mine. Now that kind of quote AI, artificial intelligence, I would change to II, intuitive intelligence.
Nice.
And I think it's dangerous. It's dangerous for them, whoever the evildoers are, to want to shut down our ability to feel, to want to nurture, to want to give compassion and empathic support. Empathic support. But oh, beloved empaths, oh, beloved servers of light and love, you must, to thine own self be true, you must nurture and take care of yourself. If you emotionally give, if you financially give, if you romantically give, if you sexually give, if you, whatever, if you're over giving and over supporting, you become an enabler, and it's dangerous for you, because then the energy vampires, those that would be thieves of your beautiful light, come in to drain you. And these are the lessons of Cancer in our celestial scope. Cancer, Moonchild, and I'm not letting go of calling them Moonchild because that was their original name, the children of the moon. Because Cancer the Crab, a water sign, the water element, water cleanses and clears. It can surge, it can drought emotionally. So this is the time of the year of all 12 months that we measure, of all 12 zodiac signs. This is the time of the year, and I'm going to go through the signs, but this is the time of the year first and foremost. Here's the question. How are you feeling? Are you feeling complete? Are you feeling at all? Are you shut down? Are you comfortably numb, as Pink Floyd sang about? Look that up on YouTube. Are you comfortably numb? Have you shut yourself down? Have you closed yourself off? Because this cycle of June 20th to July 21st, the divine source is saying, okay, we need to check on your emotional temperature. We need to check on your emotional barometer. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for you to not feel anymore. It's just not healthy.
True. Very, very true.
So happy birthday to those born between June the 20th, the official day of Summer Solstice. And as this full moon, it's not only Summer Solstice, Roxanne, it's our second full moon in a row in the sign of the Archer, the Seeker, the Visionary of Truth, Sagittarius. So here we have, people are wanting answers, right? It's what happened in Orlando at the Pulse nightclub, the terrorism wave that it's almost as if the terrorism wave is about, is this the new, I'm hearing people say, is this the new normal? Are we going to wake up and find out who else has been slaughtered and all that? No, I'm never going to get complacent to that. Am I, as one person, doing my part to be a hero of light? Am I lighting candles? Am I meditating? Am I praying, calling for peace upon our world? Yes.
Well, we
Yes.
have to
People
come together on this, each one individually, vibrating on that frequency of peace, love, happiness, light, and intuition. We have to listen to our inner self, which is the divine cosmic subconscious. It's out there. We just have to tune in.
And see the Creator, God, whatever your particular spiritual beliefs are. I'm good with the Holy Ghost, and I'm good with Creator. I am that I am. That works for me, and that's how I roll. Everybody else make your own choices. But to Roxanne's point, we're gifted free will. And like she said, are you plugged in? Are you choosing to take your intuitive plug and plug it in to divine source, whatever you want to name it or call it or what? To me, religion oftentimes is a bunch of rules. Spirituality is compassion in action.
Right.
So I'm plugged in. Trust me when I tell you I'm plugged in. And I acquiesce. I on bended knee every time when that holy command or that holy voice, the I am that I am, the all that is, the Holy Ghost comes in and says, it's me. What do you want me to do? I'm there. I'll drop anything and I'm going to do that guidance because it has always been with me. I have never walked alone. It has proved itself to me as a supernatural force of grace and oh, the almighty army that it releases with the archangel messengers. So we must, and under the sign of Cancer and this full moon, Sagittarius says, what's your bullseye? You've got arrows. You've got bow and arrows, and you've got arrows of light in your quiver right there by your side. What is your definition of truth? And if you're saying, I don't know the truth anymore, I'm confused. That's why we've got two full moons in Sagittarius this year. It's the sign of the vision quest. In the tarot, it would be the sign of it would be the card of temperance in the major trumps and the fool, number 0 and number 14, because it's Archangel Michael. And it's got to do with I am the light. I am one with the all that is, almighty I am. So however that father vibration, that as above, so below, you need to plug into that right now and test it. Test it for yourself. Am I saying take my word for it or anybody else's word for it? No, put it to the test. But how are you going to put it to the test if you don't plug in? As Roxanne said, if you don't choose to your frequency, your vibration, you were gifted and given free will. Now, what are you doing with your willpower? And what feels right and what feels wrong is the spotlight that's upon us from June 20th to July 21st. Now, for the first sign, Aries, it's in the 4th section or house of the celestial wheel. So for the people that are born under the sign of Aries, it has to do with home and hearth and domestic issues and domestic frequencies. So first I would say, is your soul feeling at home in your body, in your temple? What do you feel your soul challenges and lessons are at this point? And are you being true to yourself? This is a very powerful place for the sign of Aries. It's about, is your domestic environment what you want it to be, and is it flowing, or does it feel like it's blocked and constricted? And is there too much tension? Is there too much tension in your home and family environment? So here's what I want to say to Aries and Libra, because that's their opposite sign. If your business atmosphere or your domestic family home living quarters, sanctuary atmosphere is fraught with tension, or there's going to be a breakup or a pending divorce, or there's trouble in the dynamic of the family with addiction, or those kind of eruptions, emotional eruptions and volcanoes that happen. We can't control anybody else as far as their own self-awareness or awakenings. But here's what you do have control of: your actions and your reactions. So to Aries and Libra, I would say, why are you letting them push your hot button? Leave the situation. You don't have to engage in the argument. You can set boundaries. Probably that's part of what the soul lessons now are for Aries at home and Libra in their working environments or their businesses. So instead of avoiding or denying or slipping into what I call a comfortably numb place, I don't know if comfortably is the right word. A lot of people move into justified blindness, refusing to see, justifying why they're putting up with it, why they're in denial, why they're looking the other way. Justified blindness. It sounds like an oxymoron. How could blindness ever be justified? Okay, because you're choosing to not look at the very issue that you need to confront and take a stand. Find your voice, speak up, and stop your part of the seesaw emotionally. Get off the seesaw. get off the seesaw. Don't let them drag you in to their deleterious or negative webs of illusion and confusion. Amen. That's the message for Aries and Libra. And I'll touch on Libra a little bit more. For Taurus and its opposite sign, Scorpio. Taurus and Scorpio have a very stimulated cycle coming up regarding communication, marketing, getting the word out there, getting your message out there. Hi, my name is, and this is what I offer. So if you're a Taurus or a Scorpio, it's a great social media. Clean up that website, open up your YouTube channel, join groups right now on YouTube, like Universal Connection Radio, while they're still Wow. You see, here's what I want to say to the audience. Whatever you join or subscribe to on YouTube, you're blessing the people that are doing all this grunt work and all this upfront work, like Roxanne and I, and all the people that are part of Universal Connection, all the authors, all the writers, all the mystics, all the psychics, all the astrologers. We wanted to give to you. We wanted to birth this seed of light and give to you. So when you subscribe on YouTube, hello, it's free right now. Don't know how long that'll last. Kind of got a vibe there. Subscribe and get grandfathered in to the group that is your spiritual support, mother, father, teacher, healer. Subscribe to it. You have no excuse not to go over to YouTube and subscribe to UCR channel. When a certain group gets enough subscribers, then it starts to help to bless them. So don't just click and listen. Get over there and get involved, because like Roxanne said, and I'm telling you, your support means everything. And you want to respect the fact of all these people that are coming together to post for free, your daily enlightenment, your daily forecast, your daily upliftment of your frequencies and your ascension antenna. Get involved. Like Roxanne said, stand as one and get involved. So for Taurus and Scorpio, you all better already be subscribed, is all I've got to say. And whatever you want to write or rewrite or pledge allegiance to or make your voice heard, yeah, this is a time for you two to be verbal activists. So too, Taurus and Scorpio, I would say, let's look at that shadow side. There's the shadow and the light. Watch your words. Pause before you commit yourself. Make sure what you're saying is really what you're ready to commit to or what you're feeling. And yes, although sometimes it can be a bit intense and frustrating to Taurus and Scorpio, I would say sometimes if someone's trying to get you in a verbal war of wills, then back up from that. And here's a great statement that I'll give you if you're a Taurus or a Scorpio or anybody else for that matter, because we all have that in our chart somewhere. No is a complete sentence.
Nice.
Just know. And let me spell that to you phonetically both ways. Here's your affirmation when you want to say no. Justno is also Justknow. So just know it's a no.
That's it.
And the other way, yeah, for those of you that are a little intimidated, I'm not intimidated to talk to anybody about anything. But if you are intimidated or shy, then you can simply say this to be one of my least favorite terms, politically correct. You can say, we're going to agree to disagree on that.
Yes.
That's kind of a Libra thing. We're going to agree to disagree. Okay. And then they smile sweetly. But deep inside, they got this whole raging volcano going on of what they agree or don't agree with. Okay. But so for those of you that are bold heroes, just know. For those of you that need to still do some work on being able to stand strong in your own truth, we're going to agree to disagree on that one. And there's certain situations in society, like if you're at a church or if you're at some type of situation that it doesn't feel right in your spirit and you don't want to offend, I think saying we're going to agree to disagree on that one is a good way.
It is.
Just
it's
to
polite.
not insult anybody or yourself. So for Taurus and Scorpio, they need to reconfigure or they need to recalibrate how they say, what they're writing, what they choose not to be a part of anymore, and how they're going to back out of that group or that social thing or whatever. So for Taurus and Scorpio this month, it's not what you say. That's a piece of it, but it's how you're delivering the message.
Okay.
Now for Gemini and Sagittarius, it's about values and priorities. Geminis, they're probably spending more money than they thought they were going to spend right now as we begin summer, Because for Geminis, they've ignored those projects that needed to be done around the house or in their yards, or maybe the septic tank needed to be pumped, because there's been too much of a buildup of stress in their life. And so these symbols start to happen, toilets breaking and septic tanks and all that, because there's been too much, you fill in the blank. So if you're a Gemini or a Sagittarius, stop scattering your energies. You're everywhere. And when you're everywhere, there's a scattering of frequencies, as Roxanne so often talks about. So I would say to Gemini and their balanced opposite sign of Sagittarius, instead of crowding your schedule, focus. Focus on completing things. Focus on following through. So important for Gemini and Sagittarius. Poor Sagittarius, they've got Saturn in Sagittarius. Mars is retrograde now in Scorpio in their 12th house. They're getting big old doses of psychology. Big old doses. They've got a lot of skeletons coming out of the closet. And they're coming out of the closet and need to be cleansed. So Sagittarius has really had a paramount psychological visitation of issues and situations they've had to face up to since December of 2015. So right now, there's you got to look back before you take another step forward for Sagittarius and Scorpios that are born in November. For Gemini, it's about, are you really paying attention to where your money's going? And are you too focused on materialistic realms and societal status? Geminis sometimes like to do that name dropping thing. I'm an attorney, I'm a doctor, I'm this, I'm that, because Geminis can kind of get into that social stratus, that climbing up the social ladder and name dropping type of a thing. For Geminis, I would say it's better to take right action and let people admire you for what you've done instead of displaying out titles. Because Gemini's a word master. They're silver-tongued little devils, those Geminis. So they know how to say it and they know how to play it. Make no mistake about it. They can put some raw organic honey in those words, and even if they're being deceptive, we're talking about light and shadow tribals, even if they're being deceptive, they make you want to believe it, because how could something that looks so fairy-like and has such a twinkle in their eyes ever deceive me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, if you want to look at the shadow side of the zodiac, there's not a better liar in the zodiac than a Gemini or a Capricorn. On the shadow side. On the shadow side. Now, I'm strictly talking about wordplay. Wordplay. If they want to look at you sweetly and avoid the issue, yep. If they want to do what they call the sin of omission, do any of you out there know what that is? It's the sin of omission. I'm just not going to say anything about it. What they don't know won't hurt them.
Right.
Yeah, well, Gemini and Capricorn can be masters of that. Masters of that. So it's about values and your top 10 list of what you're prioritizing. So to Gemini and Sagittarius, just take a pregnant pause, will you? And look at what you're seeding. There's not a thought, there's not an action that can't come about into manifestation without a seed idea or a seed of feeling or intention. So I'm going to say that the spotlight of what are your motivations and your intentions mostly is shining on Gemini and Sagittarius. Our next signs, Cancer and Capricorn. Cancer is in the birthday spotlight. It's the beginning of their new year. So as of June 20th, it's birthday time for people born under the sign of the Moonchild. And what that means is when you have your solar new year, when you have your solar return on your birthday, the sun returns to the exact degree mathematically that you were born under, give or take a couple of degrees. For Cancerians, for moon children, this is the time to begin things. It's a time to take that all-important first step. You don't have to finish it if you're born under the sign of Moonchild Cancer. But this is the time you've just come out of your looking back at the last year. You just come out of your year in review. Now it's time for you to step up to the plate and start doing some different things that you've been longing for, frustrated because they haven't been coming about fast enough. But for Cancerians, you guys need to clear up the situations and the issues and clear out the people that have been draining your energy. If they're not following through and they're not being impeccable with their word, and they've let you down, and they've not been a team player, and they've not paid you back, and they've not followed through with what they should have done, Here's my favorite thing to say as a Scorpio. It's psychic guillotine time. Bam! Gone. Bless you. Bye-bye. Because the more you keep honoring someone in your life abusing you emotionally, abusing you psychologically, lying to you, dropping the ball, not doing their part, you're enabling them. You're enabling them to treat you wrong, to not treat you fair. So remove yourself from the part of that equation. End of subject for Cancers. It's your new year. Assume the position. If you're a Capricorn, this is your time of the year on the medicine wheel. Cancer is your opposite sign. It's 6 months away from you. Cancer is summer solstice. Capricorn is winter solstice. So for Capricorns, on the medicine wheel, if Cancer is east, sunrise, it's their time. Capricorn is now at the sunset time of their personal wheel. So they're in the west direction of our medicine wheel of stars. So for Capricorn, whenever you're in the west medicine wheel direction, it's about we. It's about your partnerships, your relationships, what I call your souls, your significant others. Now, significant others doesn't mean who you're sleeping with. Significant others means the people that you allow in your closest tribal interactions to be with you, to share your deepest feelings and thoughts and concerns and blessings with. Who are your true allies? That's your significant others. It could be your child. It could be a pet. It could be a dear friend, a neighbor. That's your extended family. Maybe you had a rough time in your family growing up. So I think that we in our tribe link up with and adopt spiritual tribal sisters and brothers and mothers and uncles and aunts and children. I have a lot of extended family tribal stars on my medicine wheel. And I got to tell you, a lot of those friends, my tribal sisters and brothers, did a lot better for me across the decades that I've been on the planet than some of my family members did. Truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
A lot of us have these karmic family challenges of addiction and betrayal and jealousy and competition that goes on in the family dynamic because we incarnated with them to get some soul lessons out of the way, okay? Just because it's your blood family, those are probably your biggest lessons that you go through as far as soul challenges.
Truth.
So I'm happy to tell you that it's nice to get some tribal mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, tribal, because they don't have to be all up in your house all the time, and they don't have to be in your face all the time, because you can take your karmic doses and blessings in part and parcel. Yeah, but those are the people, your tribal support system, those are the people that you want to honor and bless and be true to. And if they fall away from being true to you, maybe it's just the fact that they need to leave tribe for a while, you know? Maybe they just need to not be in the close inner circle of the tribe. That's what's going on for Capricorn. It's time to glean and exorcise. Yeah, it's time to really look at what's light and what's dark. If you're a Capricorn, and oh, by the way, Capricorn, I'm talking to you because I'm Italian. Yeah, that's right. How you doing? And what I'm saying to you, Capricorn, is if you got darkness going on in you, yeah, that's right, you. Bada boom, bada bing. You need to look at your own darkness, and you need to look at your own motivations, and you need to look at your own shadow selfishness possibilities. I'm talking to you because you're in the spotlight of the shade or the shadows trying to get you to be needy and greedy and self-centered. And every sign gets its turn. I'm not just picking on Capricorn, but right now it's you. So clean up your own act and get out there and demonstrate it to your tribe, Cappies. Yeah. So now Leo and Aquarius, let's talk to them. And then we'll do Virgo and Pisces. Leo and Aquarius right now. Leos are beloved brave heart lions. I love the Leos. Mm-hmm. Leos right now are in what's called the closet. You know, what are you in the closet about? What are you afraid of? What past haunts? Or what? There may be none. There may be none. But it's Pandora's box, and it's the skeletons in the closet. But mostly for Leo, it's about